Hey, what is going on guys? It's Tharsha and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're back with another episode of our Season 19 Rebuilding Glory campaign in Lord of the Rings Rise to War. So if you guys do enjoy this video, then please do drop a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications. Before we get into the video, I just want to say quickly that if you guys are interested in supporting the community-sponsored chess opening, the PayPal link is in the video description. And I will be shouting out or crediting everyone who does donate, regardless of if it's, under $1, over $1, the amount does not matter. Anyone who does decide to support will be credited. But let's get straight into the video. So, today's video, it is episode 5, I believe, of this campaign series, and things are kind of looking a bit bad, kind of looking a bit good, looks a bit, it's a bit of everything at the moment. I mean, our side is winning, technically speaking, but it's not looking the greatest for some of us. And yeah, I'll show you the map and you can see what I mean. So you can see that, Mordor is pretty much all over the place, right? So they've pushed out and they're all the way in the west over here. And, they're doing perfectly fine. Erebor as well, they've contained Lot to like 2 sections. And they're pushing to the west and doing what they want as well. Rohan, they're also doing decent, they have their lands over here, they've retaken all their starting lands, and they pushed out and got a little bit over here. Gondor, we obviously have our starting lands, we took Andras to relocate, but yeah, there's a big war pin down here, and Linden have decided, they abandoned this front, and they pushed down here to try and push us instead, but they weren't quick enough, and I think now Mordor has caught up to them over here, Erebor has caught up to them over here. And yeah, it's just a bit all over the place, though. Obviously, our side is winning, considering, Erebor and Mordor have pushed so far, while also containing the only team from the other alliance that is east of the Misty Mountains. But yeah, we'll have a look at all the weapons first, and then we will, then we'll go into the leaderboard. So I guess we'll start from these weapons with lots, since they're the only weapons, I think, east of the Misty Mountains. Yep, they are literally the only weapons east of the Misty Mountains. So Rune, I believe, is keeping the capital as well, because I don't know what they've done, honestly, but we know, whatever. Let's see, over here in Withered Hearth, so let's just zoom in a bit. And this is a 4 million participant pin with 1.3 million deaths on it. So we have Telp at the top, and they seem to be fighting off Bomb and Seam. And then they have some support from Lion as well as Love over there. If we have a look at this pin, this is in Northern Wastes, and we have 5.8 million participants with 1.9 million deaths. We have Lion at the top. They seem to be fighting Seam mostly. And then we have some support from Telp for Erebor and Bomb for Lothlorien. Well, Fake Ring is also there. They're pretty much at the bottom though, so I guess they focused more in the west. They're not really dealing with Loth. And Love is also below them. Over here, which is the east of the Northern Waste, there's a 3 million pin with 972,000 deaths. And this is Lion at the top against Love and Seam, so both Lot teams. And then Telp is there right at the bottom, along with Slap, never heard of them before. And then the 2 Rune teams, Gang and OOOO. So yeah, it's interesting to see Rune, honestly, because it's like, how are they even really fighting? Are they not just going to be, walking on top of Erebor march lines? Or, like, who owns this at the moment? Yeah, Erebor owns this. I don't know how Rune is going to support there, but it's interesting to see them there, either way. So let's just zoom out over here, and we'll start off with our, obviously we'll start off with our weapons down in the south, and then we'll move up north. So first, okay, we can click this. Firstly, we have a pin here in Andrist. And as you can see, it's pretty much all of Gondor together trying to stop Linden. And Linden are absolutely whales. So, like, it takes 5 of our commanders to kill one of theirs. But yeah, we have 11 million participants here with 3.7 million deaths. Of those 3.7 million deaths, I would like to say 2.7 to, like, maybe, I don't know, 3 million deaths is all Gondor deaths. And then the remaining 0.7 to a million is Linden. But yeah, we are definitely losing a lot of troops here. And at the top we have UTTP, so that's the main Linden team. And then obviously it's Ring fighting against them. And then we have some support from KOTM as well as from Whoop. So yeah, it's pretty... Oh, and then obviously Underneath unaffiliated, we have Clan of John, the cult slash fellowship team there in London. Over here, we have a pin between Rohan and London, so 3.5 million participants, 1.2 million deaths. We have Haha at the top, and they're fighting both Whip and UTTP. Those mostly a Haha Whip pin, with UTTP and LCDR just supporting. And again, we have a few, Clan of John cultists over there joining in on that fight as well. Over here, we have in Torlau, we have a Honor vs Rohan pin, 1.2 million participants, 400,000 deaths. Rock at the top fighting Haha and LCDR, and then LOTR and LCDM supporting. Over here we have a big Isengard pin, 11 million participants, 3.7 million deaths. I think that's actually the exact same size as our pin. 11 million, 3.7, right? Yep, they have the exact same size pin somehow. Interesting. This is Haha against all the Honor teams, so Rock, LOTR, and June. Honor is trying to defend their capital, which Rohan are going for. And then you have LCDR and LCDM below there supporting. And somehow Rune players are there. Okay. I don't know how Rune is there, unless it's just Rune just made barracks full of Felbeast and flew all the way over, I guess. Either way, very interesting to see. Over here we have another Isengard pin. This is 12 million participants with 4 million deaths. This is Honor Mordor pin. So Rock at the top fighting Legion 7 and Legion 13 from Mordor. And then you have LOTR, June, and Emma at the bottom. Over here in Enelthwaite, you have a Linden Mordor pin, 9.9 million participants, 3.5 million deaths. UTTP at the top fighting Legion 7, Legion 13, and Whoop and Emwa supporting over there. In Dunland, or closer to Dunland, we have a few more pins, 860k participants, 268,000 deaths, and this is Emwa at the top fighting June, and Legion 13, Rock, Legion 7, and LOTR all supporting. In Dunland itself, we have another Mordor Honor pin. This is Legion 7 against LOTR, with Legion 13 Rock supporting, and Emwa and June at the bottom. 745,000 participants, 227,000 deaths. Over here, we have a Durin's Vale fight, though it's not a fight, it's probably more just a skirmish. 861,000 participants, 282,000 deaths. Legion 13 against June, Legion 7, LOTR, and Rock all in support. Now in Rudar we have a small little skirmish. This is between Whoop and Talp, along with Fake Ring and UTTP supporting. 793,000 participants, 279,000 deaths over there. Now this is the bigger pin especially for Fake Ring mostly. So 4 million participants, 1.4 million deaths. We have Whoop at the top against Fake Ring, and then we have Talp supporting along with UTTP, and then the cultists from Clan of John. And there's also a few Lion there at the bottom. I don't think there's any pins further west. Yeah, there's nothing over there, so I think this is the final pin we have in the North Downs. And this is 2.7 million participants, 900,000 deaths. And this is Hunt from Angmar against Talp, along with Lion and Fake Ring, and then you have Pies at the bottom. So I'm just going to zoom out just so you guys can have a look at the overview of the entire map. Also, you can probably see Erebor owned 4 caps, I think. Yeah, Erebor owned 4 caps, and then I think they're going to be fighting with Mordor over Dol Guldur. Let me just check. Yeah, Erebor and Mordor are set up for Dol Guldur, and so I guess they're going to have a ring fight, and Erebor is going to get 5 caps, or maybe Mordor may get Dol Guldur instead, I'm not sure, but either way, Mordor have 1, 2, they only have 2 caps. I thought, oh yeah, they said they're not going to take Rune, so I guess they're going to try for Orthanc, or maybe Blue Mountains, I'm not sure, or maybe they will take Dol Guldur and that'll be the 3rd cap, so either way, I mean, I feel we should probably split rewards equally, but they obviously are not going to want to go for that because Erebor and Mordor are the powerhouses of the alliance, so they're obviously doing a lot more than, well, Gondor is obviously the smallest team in the alliance, but it's alright. So I guess Erebor will probably take 5 caps, and Mordor will take 3. I don't know if, because if Erebor takes Doggldoor and get 5, I'm not sure what Mordor is going to do for a third cap, because they may not be able to push all the way over to the Grey Havens, and if Rohan is quick enough, I'm sure they want to take Orthanc for themselves, so they can take Orthanc and they can take Ridersburg, and they can at least get 3 capitals for themselves. So I guess at that point Mordor may just go and take Kindland from Rune, but we'll see. So yeah, Mordor will probably end up with 3, Erebor with 5, Rohan with 3 if they can take Orthanc. Otherwise they'll probably just end up with 2, which makes no difference really. And then Gondor, well, we're just going to get to keep our cap, and either way, regardless of who we sided with, the result would have been the same, either only our cap or no cap. And obviously, if we had sided with the enemy team, then that would have been breaking our friendship and alliance with Rohan. Well, with Haha specifically from Rohan. So yeah, let's head over and have a look at the leaderboard. So if we go over to personal affluence, I am ranked 139th with 42,000 affluence. I also do have, I have like 26 tiles available, but I'm not filling that up mostly because in case I need for tiling or whatever, so I'm not going to fill that up. But yeah, we are number 139 on personal affluence. We have a look at merit. I am unranked here because, well, I'm nowhere close to these guys at over 3 million merit each. But yeah, we are at 485k. It's very hard trying to earn merit against Linden, but hopefully I am trying to get 1 million, so hopefully we can do that. Over at Fellowship Affluence, at number 1 we have Legion 7, at number 2 we have Legion 13. Legion 7 is at 3.3 million, Legion 13 is at 3.3 million power as well. Fate Ring is 3rd with 2.9 million power, Haha from Rohan is 4th with 2.8 million power. 5 and 6 is Talp and Lion respectively, 2.8 million and 2.4 million power. 7 and 8 are the Linden teams, Whip and UTTP, 2.3 million power for both of them. 9 is the second Rohan team, LCDR, with 2.3 million power. 10 is my team, Ring, Barahir, 2.2 million power, though we will probably drop down to like 13, 14 because we have 82 people, but I'm going to be kicking out a bunch of people, who aren't putting merit on the board and just seem inactive and not following announcements, etc. 11 is Hunt from Angmar with 2.2 million power. 12 is Emwa from Mordor with 2.1 million power. 13 and 14 are the Arno teams Rock and LOTR, 2 million power and 1.9 million power. 15 is the Fellowship or Cult Clan of John, and those cultists have managed to reach 1.4 million power. 16 is June from Arno with 1.3 million power. 17 is KOTM, which is the second Gondor team at 1.3. I think, yeah, they're down to 50 people because they removed a bunch of people that had no merit and all that, so props to them for that. 1.3 more power for them. 18, 19 is the two Lot teams, Seam and Love, 1.3 and 1.2 million power. 20 is the second Rohan team, LCDM, 896k. 21 is Bomb from Loth, 871k. 22 is Pies from Angmar with 766,000 power. 23 is LOTR from Gondor with just over 500k. This team, however, is basically all Altacons and it's basically all Altacons, Spirecons, and yeah, we kicked them all out, and so they went and grouped up together. So you have a team of traitors sitting over there. But if we have a look at faction points, I am at number 18, so we are pushing up there. We're nearly top 15. Top 15 is 6,628 points and above at the moment, so we need to try and hit that top 15, maybe even get into top 10. It's 8-5, it's not that out of reach, we could do it. Yeah, I'm very happy we are in the top 20, 25 at least for now, and we have a chance of even hitting the top 15 or above. If we have a look at development level, Mordor is first with 44 levels, Erebor is second with 35, Rohan is third with 24, Linden is fourth with 20, Gondor is fifth with 19, Arno is sixth with 10, Angmar is seventh with 6, Rune is eighth with 6, and Loth is last place with 4 levels of development. So yeah, that is most of the video. We are going to actually move on though and have a look at the featured report, which we decided to showcase nowadays. For each video we're going to feature one report. I did ask in World Chat to see if anyone wanted to show off their reports, and we had one guy DM with a pretty interesting double report. So same formation basically, and one against good, one against evil. So that is something I'm actually interested in showing off. So it's Merlin's Beard. He is from Rock in Arnold, 31k affluence, 1.22 million um, merits. And yeah, so the first report we can have a look is this one. It's against evil. The second report is against good. So let's go over here, have a look at this report. And as you can see, so he's running Felgen with full purple gear, fully strengthened and refined, it looks like, on all of that. He has R10 Felgen, and skill-wise, he's running Thrain's Guards, so this is obviously the nice tanky skill, so it makes all his Dwarvish units take 30% less damage from the first 8 hits. It's also modified by command stats, so he's got decent command, 361, so it will be modified a bit by that. He is then running Musician, which is the healing skill along with purifying debuffs, which is solid. And then he is running Arid Luin Expedition, which increases the defense of the dwarf units in the commander's formation based on how many dwarvish formations are in your army. He's got 1 point into Durin's Blood, I'm not sure why, but yeah, he does have that. And he's running Depth Defenders, so the T4 dwarvish units. And yeah, the rest of his formation is an R6 Gandalf the White, decent 4-star Obsidian Dagger, a 5-star Great Plate. He's got best in slot purple focus and best in slot accessory as well. That's also really refined. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4 refines? Goddamn. And yeah, he's got 222 focus. He's running the White Council plus White Rider combo with the remaining points into the damage skills, and he's running Guardians on him and Axe Throws on his 2 damage dealers. His 2 damage dealers are Dane and Beorn, so yeah, as you can see, that is his gear loadout, R7 Dane and R7 Beorn as well. Now, he is going up against Lord KV from Legion 7, so the Mordor team, and this guy is running R4 Sauron, so as you can see, he is a bit lower on the respect levels and stuff. Purple sword and very low tier gold, which on his Sauron. Shadow, R9 Shadow, so not bad. 3-star, 1-star gold with 5-star purple, so this guy is obviously not that strong. He's got full purple here mostly on his LUTs with the best in start Case of Pride. R7 LUTs, so not too bad there. And then R1 Saruman, purple gear plus 2 goals. So this guy is this Mordor player is obviously a lot more free to play, and obviously you can see equipment wise that Merlin's Beard definitely outclasses him in terms of equipment as well as in terms of respect level. He also has the counter bonus, so he is fighting a full army of T4s, but he does get that 20 to 30%, however much it is, bonus damage from countering. So he's using small, and small counters large, large counters medium, as you know, medium counters small. And yeah, this is the report. So 132,000 damage on Beorn, 136k on Dane, 32k on Gandalf the White, 47k on Felgen, and that's probably mostly his unit damage, because Felgen himself has basically no damage dealing capability. So it's probably his units doing all of that. And yeah, Felgen seems to be tanking pretty well for him, yeah. Sauron, yeah, 20k, 56k on the Shadow. And Shadow is actually very good. I've seen a Zenith fully gold, refined and strengthened Shadow on one of my friends' accounts, who's from Aces. But yeah, so Shadow's a very solid choice. Lutz as well, doing pretty good, yeah, 50k. In fact, Saruman doing 55,000 damage. I'm very interested to see if that is commander or unit damage. So let's have a look, right? Commander-wise, okay, yeah, so Shadow and Lutz are doing commander damage. Yes, Saruman is doing the same amount of commander damage as Lutz is, even though he's R1 with not very good gear. So that's very, very interesting to see. Soldier-wise, you have he also has Saruman's army is also doing the most soldier damage, which is interesting to see. Lutz not bad, Shadow not bad, and Saruman not bad as well. Yeah, okay, there you go. That's why people use Sauron. 12 instances of madness. God damn. And then 8 instances of stun. That's pretty crazy, to be honest. But yeah, you guys can pause it if you want to look. Commander-wise, Bjorn at 118k, Dane at 111k. Gun of the White doing 20k, not bad. But yeah, Gun of the White's there more for support than anything else. And Falcon, yeah, no commander damage. Though, yeah, most of the damage should come from his army with 44,000. Now we're going to go back and we're going to have a look at his second report. So this is against good side. And then what did he show you? Oh yeah, okay, that is a evil. We'll actually have a look at that third report, because why not? So this is the opposite. This is him fighting good. And you know good side mostly uses medium units. So this time he is getting counted. As you can see there. So the Rohan player is going to have that 20 to 30% bonus damage. Well, we already saw gear for Merlin's Beard, but we'll have a look at what gear this guy, Manguel, is using from LCDR. So he has a Gun of the White R4 only, and he's got decent focus, 137, not he needs to get that higher, obviously. Gilgalad, okay, his Gilgalad is solid R10 Gilgalad, that is unit attack, unit defense, okay, he's going for a full defense build, yeah. So he's got one Knights over here on his Gilgalad. He's got a ton of defense and he's using them as a tank. And then he also has a Dane, R8 Dane, 210 attack, 34 to 49 damage, 34 to 49, slightly worse I think overall than Merlin's Beard, but still 120k damage from there, 92k from his Bjorn. Okay, R4 Bjorn with worse gear, makes sense. Let's have a look here. So 78k commander damage from Merlin's Beard's Bjorn, 76k from his Dane, 109k from Manguel's Dane, 78k from his Bjorn. And yeah, it's interesting. So the only difference in formation here is obviously the mediums against small, and obviously the Rohan players, a medium units basically giving him that 30%, or is it 20 to 30% damage bonus against the small units that Merlin's Beard is using. And then obviously their choice of tank is different. So the Rohan player is going with Swan Knights on a Gilgalad, and Merlin's Beard is going with Dwarves on Falcon. So yeah, very interesting to see. We're not going to go through this last report in depth, but we are going to just have a look. So this again is a small against large. It looks like Evil mostly uses large units, and then obviously, you know, good side does mostly use mediums. So if you're running Dwarves and stuff, then you're going to have to be running small units, since I doubt you're going to be running the Dwarvish Cavalry unit, the Goats. But yeah, so over here, this is a much more even report, even with the counter damage. In fact, if it wasn't for that counter damage, I think it would probably be more even, because right now, actually no, if it wasn't for that counter damage, it would be a lot worse for Merlin's Beard, because he is losing this report. The evil player has nearly double the amount of troops surviving. So yeah, without that counter damage, it would be a much worse report. Let's have a look. This is a R6 Witch King, mostly purple. This is an R4 Sauron, mostly purple. This is an R9 Shadow. Decent golds, I guess, but no set effects. And this is an R5 Lurtz. Okay, so with mostly purple. So this is a mostly purple evil formation as well. It is very interesting. He mentioned in the message he sent that, you know, it gets a lot of variation against evil, and yeah, that's very true, because this is not a very high spending player. Like, he's got a lot of purples, 1 or 2 golds only. Respect levels are, you know, alright, but nothing, you know, to brag about at home. But yeah, so let's see. 73k on Lurtz, 85k on Shadow, 18k on Witch King. Armies are all doing about 15 to 20k, so nothing crazy there. And okay, I think I see why. 9 rounds of stun from Witch King, 4 rounds of stun from Sauron, plus 2 rounds of madness. That is crazy. Yeah, his Dane was stunned for 5 rounds. Bjorn was stunned for 2 rounds. Gun of the White was stunned for 3. Falcon was, oh god, okay. Yep, I think I see why that report went the way it did. Half his army was, well, his entire formation was stunned for like half that fight. But yeah, that is going to be the video, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did, please do drop a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to turn on those post notifications. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video.
Konnichiwa.